Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's Friday, May 31st. We've had 5 months in the books and we're coming off another winning night. Now, before we go forward, we got to look backwards. Transparency just isn't enough of it in this sports betting industry. And if you're going to share your short-term results, you need to share your long-term results as well. That's the only way we could confirm whether the information's plus EV or not. Because over a short sample size of 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 bets, there could be a lot of luck. That could be a product of good luck and bad luck. There's a lot of randomness in that. So I always want to go over our results. With that said, let's take a look real quickly. Now, short term, let's look at the last 7 days. That's really short term. We're sitting number one at Wager Talk, up 23.8 units. I placed about 101 bets with an over 8% ROI. Now, we're not going to be able to sustain an 8% ROI, that's for sure. That's why it's short term. So you got to look at that and confirm, is it sustainable? Kind of like when you see someone bragging they're 10-1. You got to ask yourself, is that sustainable? Can they continue to win at 90% rate? Of course not. So you expect that mean to be reverted to. That's just what happens. That's not opinion. That's just fact. That's math. Now let's look at the last 30 days. Last 30 days. Okay, number two in profit at Wager Talk, up over 33 units. I gave a little over 300 bets with an over 3.6% ROI. Wow. Okay, we haven't even been really that hot. That's the product of grinding. That's the product of looking for inefficiencies and just taking advantage of them over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And the reason I bring this up is because unless you bet size correctly and manage risk correctly, the picks will become irrelevant. I will continue to hammer this point home because I am the perfect example of that. I managed to go broke multiple times, lose multiple bankrolls with access to some of the most sharpest and winningest profitable information you could have at your disposal. But I didn't manage my risk correctly. So I continued to lose when the cold streaks came in. That's just the bottom line until I finally learned how to do it. And since then, I went from betting 100 to 500, because I always go 1x to 5x, to now going 1,000 to 5,000. I could go more than that, but it's hard to get down when you start betting big figures. But I'm no smarter than anyone else, no sharper than anyone else. Anyone can do it. You just need to have the discipline once you have access to winning information. And obviously, numbers don't lie. I've won 8 of the last 9 years, up already this year, and the plus EV all over the board. Now, let's look at the last 365 because that's what matters more than anything else. Can I win long term? Am I plus EV? Well, I'm sitting number one in profit, over 220 units of profit, over 3,000 bets with an over 2.5% ROI. Bam. That's an advantage player. That's the results. That's what it should look like for betting syndicates. Right around that 2.5% to 4% range, maybe 5% in a smaller sample size as far as ROI goes. But many times, even with card counting, because you have so much volume, you have a 1% ROI. You're printing money, just printing money. So it comes down to your volume as well. Unfortunately, we have plenty of it. We're not afraid to fire because we know we have our edge. And the faster we get our money in the action and we get a return on investment, the quicker our capital grows. That's why we were able to increase our capital by 80% last season. And so far, we're up again this year. In fact, let's see where we're sitting at this year. All right, Ace climbs into the top 5 over 60 units of profit. We're having a decent year and haven't even gone on that hot streak that we know is coming. So really excited for what's ahead. Make sure you head over to wagertalk.com. Check out Gianni the Greek. And, of course, on social media at Greek_Gambler. Now, please, just go down and smash that like button. Do me that favor. I'm going to do this for you every day. I'm going to share nothing but gold. And all I ask is a little bit of engagement. I want to thank each and every one of you. I go and check all those comments. Nothing but positive stuff from you guys. I love you for it. I love you for it. And it just motivates me to give you more gold. And more importantly, tell me what you want me to talk about. Like, am I going too long on one thing or another? I go off on these rants. That's just how I am. But I try to share as much actionable info as possible. Now, with that said, let's get to that actionable information. Let's get that vape in hand, too. A little nicotine gets the brain circuit going That's what they say too, believe it or not. Even people that don't smoke, they'll take a little nicotine to get when there's something big coming up, like a test, or they're doing like a show or something like that. I've heard a lot of celebrities do say they do that shit. So I guess it helps a little bit. Anyway, don't do it long term. Not bad. Smoking, no good. Now, one of the groups I work with, they bet a lot of that college baseball. They bet those UFL stuff. That's hard to get down. I rarely ever share that with subscribers because the lines just move too significantly and the limits are too low. So I'm not going to get credit for units won that my guys can't bet. That does me no good. I want you to make sure if you're paying me for information, it's profitable for you, or else I'm wasting your time and your money. And that's not something I want to do. If you lose your money because you're managing risk incorrectly, that's on you. That's on you, because I'm going to win year in and year out. That's been proven. You follow along 365 days, you manage your risk correctly, you're going to win, because that's what I'm going to do. They bet me college baseball under 12.5 Western Michigan, Kentucky, and they bet that UFL game 371 Arlington plus 1.5. So if you have a lean on those, maybe it gets confirmed. I'm just sharing that information. I wasn't able to use it for subscribers, but obviously I get down for these groups and take a percentage of the account, so I want them to win. Stick around. I'm going to give you a 4% play that's a premium for today. I think we did that yesterday and hit with Minnesota. I got another side for you. Now, I'm going to do mostly baseball today. Let me give you a couple sides that I have not been able to confirm for subscribers, but I did move them for the betting syndicates that I get down for. They hit me with 909 Tampa Bay at plus 135, sitting at plus 120 right now. That's why I need to determine, is there still plus EV or not? I haven't gotten there yet. That's why my subscribers don't have that bet. Same with 906 Mets. We got down at minus 107, minus 110, sitting at about that minus 120. That's a different price. There's only so much edge. Once you surpass that, now I'm hoping to be the product of good luck. I don't have the edge anymore. So there is that threshold where there's still value, but after that, you just got to let some shit go. And finally, 913 Minnesota Twins at plus 120. That's down to like plus 105. So again, another situation where determining whether the EV is still there, if you're getting a different number than the group that got down, is part of the puzzle. I don't just blindly give stuff out or blindly piggyback any of these groups, unless, like I said, it's sports that I don't handicap, in which case I do follow. Like today, it was tennis. I don't know if these even went off, but I'm going to read them off to you guys because I love you. WTA, that's the tennis French Open. They bet Madison Keys at about minus 160. They'll go up to 10 cents either way, 15 cents either way with those kind of markets, because they do so much damage, and they know it's harder for us to find the exact number. I think there's one more. Okay, now that was the only tennis. I do have some soccer. In Sweden, they went over 2.5, over 2.75, and over 3 in IFK Gothenburg versus Elfsborg. So IFK Gothenburg versus Elfsborg, they went over 2.5 at minus 130, over 2.75 at minus 105, or over 3 at plus 130. See how that works? If I go up the ladder for them, they got to get a better price. So they want my over 2.5 and minus 130. If I can only get over 3, they'll take it, but I got to get them plus 130 or better. That's the difference between a recreational bettor and a wise guy. A recreational bettor, if they want to go bet the Green Bay Packers at minus 6 and they get to the window at the sportsbook Monday night and it's minus 7, they're still betting it, even though 7's such a key number, because they're betting the team. We're betting numbers. That's why we turn a profit each and every year. Join the party. Head over to wagertalk.com and, of course, Greek_Gambler. Woo, it's going to have a good weekend. I gave out 5 MMA plays today to subscribers with like 2 or 3, 4% plays. One might be upgraded to a 5% play. So you can see the excitement. This is the best time. Like I said, set up nicely. Everything's good to go. Focused 100% on turning the biggest profit I can for the Bet for Ace guys. That's why I have to face them each and every week. I love having to do that, because win or lose, I got to go in that steam room and face the people that trusted me with their hard-earned cash. and their capital, their bankroll, that they could invest in other things. There's art to invest in. One of the paintings that I invested in at Masterworks just sold yesterday. It was a Basquiat painting, The Mosque, that sold for $8 million. I made like 23% return in less than a year. They held it for longer, but I bought it in the trading market. There's guys that were trying to get out of that because they wanted to get some money, I guess, because they sell their shares at a discount in the trading market. If you guys want to check that out, again, I don't work with them or any promotion with them, but I've made good money with them. So let's get to baseball, see if I could share some winning information with you. Now, I'm going to give the 4% play. Let's just get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way real quickly. It's game 925, San Diego against Kansas City. And we are on the San Diego Chargers. This is another perfect storm where Kansas City is playing above what they should, and San Diego's kind of playing below what they should. I talked about the Pythagorean wins and losses. I've shared how to actually do the formula multiple times, and it's really helped me a lot in baseball because you see the teams that have gotten lucky, like based on runs scored and runs allowed, how many games should have they won compared to how many they have won, and you start to find undervalued, overvalued teams to just follow and look for spots. And I thought today, San Diego on the road, laying anything less than 150 was a good spot. We got down at around that minus 130 range. 4% play, San Diego on the road against Kansas City. With Cease over Waka, we always list pitchers. Now, let me give you another player too. I'm going to give you this one because we hit this one multiple ways. This is the last one I'll give because, again, I don't have too much yet because I want to get out there early to you. Oh, I got some other stuff to share, so stick around. This is another premium that I released. LA Angels. Now, I hit them on the money line for the game, and then first 5, I hit them 2 different ways. Hit them at plus 130 and hit them at plus a half at minus 115. So we got LA Angels on the money line for the game. We got the Angels first 5 money line, Angels plus a half first 5. Anytime we're trying to hit a game multiple ways, it means that they believe the edge is greater, but the limits are lower. So the only way to get down is a little diversification and spreading out your bets. I've talked about that numerous times, how we look even at props sometimes of ways to get down. Because again, these baseball sides, baseball totals, they won't take much money, the sports book, if you're labeled as a sharp. So we got the San Diego Padres and we got the LA Angels money line, and more importantly, first 5, where I bet them twice. So that's more or less 4% plays with San Diego and LA Angels first 5. I'm hooking it. Now, here's 3 Major League Baseball sides that I bet for the groups I work with, but I didn't share with subscribers because I haven't confirmed myself that there's still EV there. Start off 909, Tampa Bay plus 135. They're now sitting at around that 120 range, and that's where I got to get my work in there and try to determine whether there's some value still left on taking Tampa Bay on the road at Baltimore. Now, I see what Tampa Bay's doing. They're about a 500 team, and actually that's what I have them pegged to end the season, to be about a 500 team. So they're not paying above or below their means. Now, with Baltimore, what are they at? All right, they're 35-19. I have them winning about 55% of their games. So, yeah, they're playing a little bit above their means. But Tampa on the road, Baltimore at home. I'm just looking, if anything just jumps out real quickly. They haven't played yet this year. Okay. Next up, 906 New York Mets. We laid minus 107, minus 110. That's up to minus 120 now against Arizona. Now, obviously, the Mets aren't having that banner year, and Arizona is actually the team that is playing below expectation, because they should be about a 500 team when all the dust settles, if not even a game or two above 500. Now, of course, that will play out over time. It's not like they're going to revert towards that immediately if a team's getting lucky or unlucky. But that's why I'm glad. See, I didn't confirm the Mets side. Something wasn't sitting right immediately with me. The line might have moved a little bit and it just wasn't. I'm glad we passed on that. But if you like and confirm, personally, I want it to win because I take a percentage of these accounts that I move for. But I don't share with subscribers unless, of course, I'm betting it myself more on top of it. And finally, 913, Minnesota. Once again, Minnesota, I got a little sweet spot for them. They've come through for me a lot. At plus 120, that's sitting at about even money now at plus 105. So we'll probably end up having to pass on that as far as for subscribers. And one more play we are looking at, I'll give that to you right now. The market's gone against us. That's why I'm kind of still working on it. And that's the St. Louis, Philadelphia over. St. Louis, Philadelphia over 8. It opened 8.5, now down to 8. That's my own play. I haven't released it to subscribers yet. I'm still going to do a little work on it. And that's about it. Again, I got 5 premium plays in the UFC already released to subscribers. Tomorrow's Saturday. So I'm going to share 1 or 2 of those with you guys here. I'll probably have more MMA, of course, and a lot of baseball where we're doing some damage. In fact, let's see before we get out of here where we're sitting. I don't even know. That's why it's going to be funny if I'm down for the year, right? Let's see for baseball. It won't be funny. It'll suck for me, but. All right, last 7 days in baseball, we're number 1. Okay, so let's see the year. All right, I'm top four. Okay, over 2.5, about 2.5% ROI, almost about 400 bets. Okay, remember last year I finished number 1 in baseball. I've said it all the time. If I could only bet one sport, it would be baseball. Not that I like it, not that I've even watched 1 inning so far this year, but because historically it provides the greatest opportunity to profit the most because there's a ton of volume we could fire and the edge is just really good. But love you guys. Appreciate the support. Please engage, motivate so I can continue doing these and let me know what you want me to talk about. I'm going to spend a one time talking about risk of ruin and really break it down to you as far as units so you understand bet sizing and how that plays a role into whether you will be able to win or lose. And we're going to talk about some of those parlays because I'm seeing way too much talk about that. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll be back on Saturday. Babe, I'm done. Yeah.